Hi everybody, welcome back to Movie Related. Well, we have a Liam Neeson film. And here's my Liam Neeson schedule right here. You got Love Actually down here. It's pretty good. The Taken movies. Oh, right there. Getting better, isn't it? Like that. And then what was it? Rob Roy? Mm-hmm. Oh. Last three movies. Boom. and through the table. Through the table. I just typed in Ice Roads to look for it, and it came up. Of course, what normally came up was Ice Road Truckers, a really nice, fun TV series on TV. And this is a direct ripoff of that, in a way, except lacking the fun and enjoyment that I get from watching the TV series.
Well, wait, do the intro, and then we'll talk about it.
Roll the intro! Basically, the story is there's a mining disaster up north, and the only way to get these heavy equipment that they need to get rid of the methane gas to rescue the miners is to bring this pump up there. It weighs like 20,000 pounds. So they put three of them on three different trucks, and then they got to take this ice road across the lake. Now, it's not the season. It's the end of the season. So the ice isn't as strong as it would normally be dead of winter. Mm-hmm. That's the plot. And that's the best part of the movie.
Just the concept.
The concept. I watched it. I did. And I like Liam Neeson. I really do.
Hey, Laurence Fishburne was in this too.
He was. And I forget the boss's guy down. I recognize his face. I recognize the brother's face. But quite frankly, the roles were so mundane. Even Laurence Fishburne lasted what?
He wasn't there long.
First accident.
See, okay, so the good part is I enjoyed seeing that this took place in Canada.
Yeah.
They were using Canadian territory, like names, Manitoba.
Oh yeah, this is an actual road. This is an actual thing.
Yeah, it wasn't like in Alaska.
No.
So being Canadian, I enjoyed that. But like I have this loathing for 80s Canadian movies because they're always so poorly acted.
Yep.
And this felt like that, even by the big stars that were in it. Nobody could act in this movie.
Well, it just seemed like they're going, hey, you know what? This is a Canadian film, eh? And we're not being paid much, so let's just get it over with. It's cold out here. It's literally the way it went.
All of the lines felt, I don't know, like there were students putting on a play.
Yeah, and I don't know the name of the young lady who plays one of the drivers. It could have been anybody. I literally could have got somebody from my high school to play the exact same role because it was paint by numbers dialogue.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm saying the writing was that bad.
But even the line deliveries were
bland. And even Laurence Fishburne is being dragged down below the ice with a broken leg attached to a truck, and it's like he's reading, "Cut the rope or we're all dying. Do it. Cut the rope." Well, thanks, Lawrence. Can you put a little effort into it? You're Morbius, for God's sake. Morbius. But I mean, no. And Liam Neeson, man, I love your action movies, Liam, but you're a little too old now to do the action movies.
That's the problem. I didn't think he was too old.
Well, the trouble is there's no action.
Well, there was action.
But it was bad. Like, it's not action. Like, in this movie, there is an insurance investigator that goes along on the ride.
Insurance investigator.
And he turns out to be a plant. He's a bad guy. And at one point, he takes over a truck. And he's racing Liam Neeson's truck. And he's ramming it on a nice... These guys can barely keep the truck on the road at 35 miles an hour, and he could just jump in and ram it and drive it all as if it's like got nails in the tire and it's like super glued to the ice. And like he hits it, you're on ice. He hits the cab of a truck, a tractor trailer. It slides way over to the right, and Liam Neeson goes, oh. And he gains control, and he slams it again. Whoa.
But I didn't mind that, because you have to suspend your disbelief for the sake of, cinematic fun, right?
This was Fast 8.5 on ice.
It was funny. Like this, as 2 viewers mentioned this movie. That's why we decided to take a look at it. And Jim, you know him, he sends us trivia sometimes. He says, now in the fight scene, keep in mind Peter and the rooster fighting in Family Guy. Because it's just over like for so long in different circumstances. That was funny when it was a good comparison. Because it just went on. Like, okay, the brother is mentally challenged. You see Liam Neeson's character has a love for him, but the brother is only there to get into trouble.
Yeah.
And to be saved.
Yep. And the fence. I'm watching that scene unfold, and I'm going, are you kidding me? Are you really going to kill him this way? Like,
you know what the worst part is? Okay, so he's against the fence. He closes the fence because the truck is going to back up over a
he's
cliff.
having trouble closing the fence.
And because he closes it, and now his steel-toed boot is caught underneath it. And he's struggling because the truck is going to crush him against the fence. And in one of the clips, you can see his boot move freely.
No,
it's just it was a movie that was really bad acting. I didn't enjoy it very much. It seemed long.
It's bad for me because I like Liam Neeson. I usually like his films, and his last 3 that we've seen now, the one where he's a snowplow driver out for revenge for his son overdosing in drugs, and then we had the Marksman, the great driving across the Mexican border farmer guy, and then we have this. And they're all like D-movie budgets with basically the same kind of plot.
No, I was wondering.
I
was wondering. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, this was bad. Why do they keep making these movies that are objectively not very good? And I'm thinking, well, people have stories to tell, and not everybody has like Hollywood big studio budget. So is it a bad thing that they make these movies?
No, but you know what? I've seen movies for very little money acted well. And this was not acted well.
But should they have not made this movie?
Yes.
Because
at least put some effort into it when you're doing it.
If they're on an extremely limited budget and they can't afford the big actors, I don't know, like...
There are big actors in this in a way. Laurence Fishburne, we got Liam Neeson. We have the guy that we recognize in every movie.
I looked up on IMDb who he was, and I couldn't figure out where I knew him from.
But he's in like tons of movies. So there's guys who collecting a paycheck. They're not A-list, but they're B-list and C-list for sure. So there's no way that the cost of the money to make the film was anywhere near the cost of the hiring of the actors to do this movie. Unfortunately. And when you do, like, I like Ice Road Truckers. I like the series. And this had some of that element in it. So had they just made it more realistic and forget about the plot line of this espionage spy guy and just have an accident happen where you lose one truck and then another thing happens, the normal stuff that can happen when you're doing these trips, it would have been much more of a, oh my God, are they going to make it? How do they do it? This kind of thing. But no, they have this secret plot with the owners of the mine, and they're evil, and chasing with skidoos. They had to make it an action film instead of an adventure film, and that's where they went wrong. This would have been much better as a much lower budget adventure film of a real thing that can happen, as opposed to the crazy antics they did with these trucks.
Well, I looked on IMDb. It had a 5.2 out of 10. I'm going to have to agree with that. It's about 5.
I'm giving it a... Well, no, I won't give this a 5. I mean, come on. They outran an avalanche. What was that whole avalanche scene even there for? It made no difference in the plot of the movie.
We're in the north. What can we do in the north?
How'd that guy get up on top of the mountain to set?
Oh, this guy, they knocked the bad guy off a cliff. He goes rolling down, but he survives.
Yeah.
But it was a big tumble down there.
Yeah.
He not only climbed up to the road, which was like in the snow, he made it back about a mile to get a skidoo. He used that skidoo to get ahead of the truckers up onto a big mountain.
To set an avalanche. And by the way, he was conscious enough and smart enough that after rolling down this hill 100,000 times and he climbs out with this barely surviving his life, I better bring the dynamite with me just in case. He remembered the emergency dynamite pack.
Because he had the plan all along.
Yeah, that was his plan. I know what to do. I'm going to drive down this hill. They just, again, another film that just missed the mark. I enjoyed that it was in Canada. I enjoyed seeing that. I really wish somebody would have said take off, eh? I would have loved that. Maybe I would have gave it a higher mark. I'm giving this a 4. Some of the actual ice road stuff was neat. How they got the trucks turned over again. Like that. But no. Not happy with this film. What do you give it? You gave it a 5?
5.
There you go. So split it down the middle of 4.5. If it's on, go ahead and watch it. You can read at the same time. You really won't miss much.
Background noise.
There you go. Well, that's Ice Roads or Ice Road Trucker, one of the two. A made in Canada film, apparently, with good actors in it who don't act good. Thanks, Mark. Okay. That's the best commentary you've had. Look at the look. Look at the look he has. That's the look I had watching the film the whole time. And until next time, we'll see you on the channel.